Our next speaker is, there you go. No, there you go. You're sitting over there before. Mordecai, whenever I'm a student at Orsa.
So yeah, my name is Mordecai Ben Abraham. I'm a yeshiva student at Osameach. And before I came to yeshiva, I ran for U.S. Congress. And I lost in the primary by 0.9%. But as a Republican in Los Angeles, which is kind of a big deal. It's funny. But the reason why I ran for Congress is because, our country in the United States, we're dealing with a huge issue that wasn't really talked about, which is the fact that economists are saying over the next 10 years, in the United States, close to 50 million jobs are going to be gone because of technological innovation, robot technology, and global outsourcing. At the same time, we have all these taxes that are on the small business sector that are not allowing all these social media-based businesses to innovate, grow, and prosper. So that was pretty much the platform that I ran on going to Congress. But I think it's a bigger issue, which is, in America, like our biggest export is our culture. Cisco, like a lot of the companies that are international, that are doing huge things, come out of the culture of America. And the culture of America, a lot of it has to do with the entertainment space. And that's what I grew up in. I was an executive producer, produced billions of views. I've been in every publication. That's how I had the nomination of the Republican Party to run and supporting my ideas. But what's happening now in the media space is that, I think someone mentioned it, like, oh, authentic content, we want to have authentic content, we want to have real people. But it's even more than that. The fact is that now robot technology is going to be doing most of the jobs that are being done here, even in this office, over the next several years. And so the new economy is not based around the ability to create new products as it is the ability to connect to other humans. Because it's not about manufacturing products. Now there's going to be robots that are going to create, that are going to design software, they're going to code, or even if a robot can't do it, we can send it over to India for pennies on the dollar. So we're seeing the new innovations in America are the ability to create social communities, social networks. One of the big things now is all these cell phone apps are selling for billions of dollars. But in reality, the future is it's not even apps anymore. It's the ability to communicate and organize on a grassroots level and to leverage resources internationally. So how do we do that? I think it's one of the beauties of Torah, because the ideas in Torah are timeless. And one of my favorite authors is Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch, and he wrote a book called Horeb, and he goes through, it's a philosophical approach to halakha, but one of the parts that connect to all of us is the laws of mishpatim, which are the laws between man. And man, man, woman, everybody. And in those laws, he talks a lot about the conduct of how we engage with people, how we have sensitivities to them, and it eventually evolves to the idea of mitzvot. But why that's important is because if you think about it, if we're saying that robots are going to create all the new technology, and all the innovation, physical technology is going to come from robots producing other robots, improving upon robots, what we're saying is that there's a new landscape of interaction. There's going to be a new landscape of communication. And I'm saying, oh, it's grassroots. But grassroots is mishpatim. It's the laws between fellow men. And so the laws between fellow men are the new scope or the new frame of reference on how to create innovations. Even when you think about it, it's like, okay, I want to improve the lives of other people because that's my business model. People are saying bartering and trade and all these things on a grassroots level, but how do I see that world? How am I able to sit in my room and to visualize what it means to improve the lives of my neighbor? And so that's the idea of where Torah is so essential, not in terms of mass conversions, but in terms of the idea of the Jewish people saying like, hey, you know what? The innovations of the future are a reflection or an expression of how well you're able to see your community, the responsibility you have for your fellow men. And I'll leave you with this idea, and I think it's important. And again, I'm going to run again in 2018, and because it's important. It's not just about me. It's about the fact that regular people, you know, in America or even in the world in general, need to step up to the plate and say, I'm not going to count on, you know, politicians who are, you know, I don't want to do they're controlled.
No politics,
No, I'm not going into politics. I'm just saying the idea of regular people, because that's what we're talking about. We're saying regular people with innovations, and applying them to the public sector is a huge point of innovation. But this is the point I want to leave everyone with. In Rabbi Hirsch's book, Horeb, he talks about the idea of mitzvah. And he describes the idea of a mitzvah as an act of unconditional love towards another person, or even an act of love towards God. And he says that idea is an essential idea in Judaism. It's really what separates Judaism from any other system, because that idea of unconditional love, he says, is the highest potential that a human being can achieve in this life. The fact that I can think about you and not think about getting anything back, but think about improving your life, is the highest potential that I can achieve in this lifetime as a human being. And that premise is the new business. It's the new innovation. It's the new 21st century. It's the new conceptual age. And, you know, as we go forward into the future, you know, let's be examples of this idea of unconditional love for our fellow man, not just for the sake of being tremendous Jews and building a place for ourselves in the world to come, but to inspire the rest of the world to elevate itself and to become closer to God as well. Shabbat Shalom.